So I keep hearing this song from Solange, and it's called Tony. And she says, I could have been in love by now if it wasn't for Tony. And God keeps playing this song in my head over for days. And I catch myself singing it out of nowhere, and I'm like, why am I singing this song again? And, I go back, I listen to this old song. Anytime God keeps bringing something repetitively to me, He's trying to tell me something. And, I ask, why? Are you putting this in my head? Why are you singing this song? Because God will give me impressions, songs, numbers, visions, just like remembrance of something, remembrance of a scent. God will communicate in so many ways, right? And when it's kind of bombarding or repetitive, then I'm like, okay, what is this for? Is this for me? Is this for someone else? What do you want me to do with this? And I've learned to question this because He always comes through with a message or something. Well, today I want to talk about the doors that the enemy has opened, or the way the enemy could have access to us. I mean, you may have one connection in your life that came into your life, and it kind of made you feel like, oh, I want to wait and see what can happen with this. So you keep hanging on to hope. This happens to a lot of women. It's a relationship that you're not sure if it's going to really move forward, if they're going to come back and then things finally move forward, or what. But, things like that can put your life on hold. Or maybe there was a relationship that kind of damaged you by something said or done, and now you're slightly schizophrenic with relationships or connections when you meet them, or, it just affects you in certain ways. So I'm trying to give like a brief, quick description on how connections can stall us, stunt us, get us stuck. A door was opened. Someone was used by the enemy to bruise you in your emotions, or now you have a block in your emotions, and now you're afraid to love again, or you're afraid to get real close or let your guard down. You might even come off as like perfectionist because you're trying to make sure they tick all the things on your list, or you might come off as somebody that's snappy, or you might come off as somebody that's looking shy, but really the truth is you're not any of that. It's just that's your defense mechanism because of Tony. Anyways, in the song, when she says Tony stands for the other night why. The other night why. So she's like, I could have been in love by now if it wasn't for Tony, this person that got me all stuck on them, or this person that hurt me, or something like that, right? Or maybe somebody had a one-night stand. Being physical with someone could be a access to your emotions and get you like a soul tie, and then you can get stuck on someone. And women usually, because they live mainly from their emotions, a lot of times they get dreamy, they get hopeful of, and I know this because I have thousands and thousands of clients, and very few are men, maybe like a handful, okay? But it's all women asking, does he love me? When will he come back? When he comes back, will he want this? Will he, and so they're putting their life on hold for one guy. And I don't care how much you have in common with them. If they're not making steps forward, if it doesn't look like it's going somewhere, if you're not getting what you need, if it's hurting you more than anything to wait on it or to hang in there with it, then you need to be open to other people, and you may need to cut them off all the way. But if you want a session with me, you can get that, and I can help you to know what's in people's hearts and minds and what's going to happen and what's going to unfold, because God lets me use my gifts that way. So you can contact me. But today I want to talk about how these doors can be opened at one time, a long time ago maybe, and you may have been stuck for decades and maybe didn't even realize that maybe that's what's been blocking you this whole time from certain things unfolding for you, because you've been stuck. Now, we have to recognize those things. We have to, work on that. Those barriers. Maybe we put walls up because of one connection that the enemy used. And maybe they wanted to be a negative in your life. Or maybe they didn't want to, but it was used either way. And so we have to take inventory. We have to inspect. We have to really think about who's come into my life and how has it affected me. Maybe that's a reason why I hold back, or, etc. Okay, so sorry for the dinging and the background noise and all that. But also, I want to say, in the song by Solange, she says, today and tomorrow called me. And she says something like, they're telling her that's where she's supposed to be. Today and tomorrow called me, and they said, that's where I should be. Basically, who or what situation or instance has you stuck? You can be stuck sometimes because you're in pain. There's a point of trauma. There's a bad memory. There was a bad event. Or you can be stuck because you're wasting time hoping on someone, dreaming about someone, waiting for them to step it up even though there's 12 red flags. And you know it. Even though you need something different or better. There used to be this connection. It will come back into my life about every 4 or something years. I notice. And they were a perfectionist. And maybe it's because they really had low esteem in some way. Maybe they were taught to be a perfectionist. I don't know. But I thought they seemed responsible and always looked nice. And they were always like, yeah, look at how I do this or how I do that. And I was like, that's nice, yeah. Because I can congratulate people. I could admire beauty or wisdom or, looks or something and say, wow, you look nice, But they were a perfectionist, God showed me. So they never got off their high horse and truly came in for me like they maybe should have back then, right? This is the teenage love that showed up every so many years. And even one day I consulted a prophetic person. I said, there's this person. Should I get back in contact with them, or if they come back, should I really see them again? And they were like, no, don't. And I didn't listen to it. Saw them again when it finally came around. This person will never be satisfied with someone because they're a perfectionist. So they'll always be in a repetitive disappointment, pretty much. So that's their own issue. But how does that person affect other people? I always felt like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough because I didn't have this job, but God called me to be home. And He wanted me to be processed and secretly trained under Him, pretty much, to learn my gifts and everything. God was sustaining me. This person did not understand that, how God is so interactive like that. Most people own their life and they live in their own agenda, and that's it. And they look like a decent citizen, but they don't have the interaction with Him. I was learning my relationship with God. Anyway, that person disappeared again. And maybe in a way they were always checking to see how I was. Part of that is true. Maybe he's checking to see if I advanced in the way that they thought was success in the world. Now I can get paid by the minute talking to people, telling them what God shows me. I think that's successful. But I did live under the poverty line for over 20 years, raising 4 children. And that was still successful because I was where God wanted me to be. I have left a bad relationship, and I didn't want to have like a domestic violence kind of life. And my kids see that. So that's why I ended up basically raising my kids by myself. So there's a lot more to that story. But anyway, for the sake of this, and keep this short and to the point, hopefully, we're looking at what kind of keeps us stuck. And so, is there a point or a door or a trauma, event, a connection, whether they meant to be negative or not? Maybe it's someone that was coming and they were a perfectionist. Maybe it was someone that was just straight negative to you, and it hurt you, and you didn't realize how bad it hurt you, but it actually stalled you, shut you down, kept you stuck at a certain point, age-wise, relationship-wise. Other areas of your life can move up and can elevate and can grow and expand, but then there's this one area you might be stuck in, all because of Tony. So this is not 100% blaming a person, but if for lack of knowledge, for lack of understanding, for lack of wisdom, for lack of, just intellectual, growth, so young, I was caught up in something that he wasn't really a bad person, but he was a perfectionist, and that was the negative that I have to say. And they didn't mean to damage, but God showed me that damaged me, I guess, and it's made me a little more guarded. So I've probably been guarded for so long since that. But it also may have protected me from connections that wouldn't have been worth my time anyway. I basically have gotten to where God wants me to be in different areas, and I'm still progressing, I'm still growing, I'm still expanding, and there's more to come. But there's this area, and he keeps playing this song in my head, and I'm like, God, why? And I can't think of who this song would be for. And it happens to be the guy's name was Tony. And it's crazy how much that song speaks to me right now in this time of transition. I want to say now, we don't want to be so stuck that when the better comes along, that we're still guarded because of the Tony, whoever that is. Okay? Or whatever that is, whatever that event is, that maybe it didn't look horrific, but the devil can sting you through something that didn't look horrific. It was beautiful, but then it dropped you. It was beautiful, but then it disappeared. It was amazing, but then it disappeared. And I've probably done that to people where you come into their life, you help, or you bring some kind of light, but then God takes you away. Maybe God took them away. But anyway, point is, maybe we hurt people when we didn't mean to. So I don't hold a grudge against this person, but I just was being shown this. I believe that's what God's shown me. That, just recognize and think back, and sometimes we have to go back and sweep things up, and we have to go back to a memory. Remember that, and then I want you to relabel it if you can. Like, we don't have to look at things like, oh, that was a good relationship, but then he crushed me. Like, because the guy had to go on with his life. Maybe you can relabel the memory, because that's not such a bad thing that they had to go do, and they weren't meaning to hurt you, but relabel the memory if you can in some way. Like, that was a great experience that I got to have with that person, and the season just changed. So just go back and relabel it. You see what I'm saying? If you can relabel it, then you'll stop blaming them, and you'll stop it can help in releasing a grudge. So the work that I feel like I'm trying to accomplish here, or the message I'm trying to accomplish here too, is identify that point of trauma, that entry, or whatever it was. Identify that memory and rename it and heal it and pray and let God heal it and just do your work so that the good things that He has for you, you'll be able and ready to receive. You'll be so ready to receive because you're cleared out and healed or delivered. And you've made room for the new and the better. So that's what I want to share. My name is Anna Clark. You can find me on www.facebook.com/Apostle Anna Clark, or click back to my homepage and find my links if I forget to put them under the video. And if you need direction, spiritual guidance for your life, some kind of spiritual counsel, if you want to give me a direct question, like if you're like, God, what door should I take? Which person should I be with? Should I even be with this person? Is it time to be with this person anymore? Okay, I think you led me to this person, but I think I'm not supposed to leave them, but I wonder if I'm allowed to. Like, I wonder if I can leave this. I wonder if I can build this. I wonder if I can create this. I wonder if I could start this. Like, am I supposed to stay at this job? Should I follow that dream? Or is that just a dream and I'm not supposed to do it? Like, any questions like that, you guys give me very direct questions. Give me very direct questions and I will ask God for you. Do you know that Daniel interpreted a king's dream and he ended up saving all the psychics and the gazers and the readers and all of that? He saved their lives. These people with intuitive abilities, or maybe they learned a skill that really works, because there's a system, there's a star system, and I don't get into astrology, but I do know that, because if someone's into astrology, they need your name and your birthday and the birthday of the other person. I don't need that. I just need your name, and I don't even need your name probably, but maybe the name of the person you're wondering about, maybe, just a description of your situation, and give me one very specific question, because God said to come to Him with all kinds of requests. Yes, that means like prayer, like, God, please make a way, or please heal me. But God is not afraid of you asking, which thing should I go for, or what, should I do? And this is the kind of questions I answer all day. I at least, help 20, 30 people a day with the work that I do. And I'm actually top ranking on an app to help people using my intuitive abilities in a field where people are, some people are witches and some people are just empaths and things like that. But I was born a seer. I do have the office of a prophet. I'm actually more than that. I'm actually an apostle. I actually could take a higher title. But this is not about titles. This is about, those things tell you who someone is, and that's my purpose of saying this, so that I can share with you who I am, what tool I am in God's box, and that I can help you. My Cash app is also $Spirit Lead Us. Spirit Lead Us with the $sign in front of it. That's my Cash app. And I just want to help people. So that's all, you guys. Maybe there's something you're wondering about, a dream, maybe even, all the scenarios I listed off. Maybe there's something I didn't list off, and you may hear my cat in the background. And maybe there's a dream you need interpreted. Maybe there's confirmation you need, like you hear him, you just need confirmation, and everyone else around you lives so from down here that you cannot talk to them about higher, deeper, spiritual, supernatural things, because they just let themselves get dumbed down here. I'm not trying to be mean about nobody, but The world teaches you to turn your gifts off. Teaches you to keep your eyes closed and just be in your head. But we want to follow the Spirit. We want to know what God's saying for us. We want to have direction. We want to see the pit holes. You know, maybe you need to know if you're stalled because there's a block, or the devil has a hold on you in some way, or he's holding back your destiny, or there's someone with bad spirits around you that is serving as a blockade. You know, that can only work for so long. A jealous spirit, an envious spirit that's standing against you in opposition. At some point you can overcome. But I can tell you who's true and who's not. I can tell you what's in their heart, what's in their mind. So this would give you direction. For in the multitude of counselors there is safety. You know, we might need a pastor speaking the word in a message, so it speaks to our heart something as it speaks something different to everybody else, which I find amazing, because God's word can do that and God's spirit could do that. But also we need maybe counselors. We need counsel. But also we need like the seers that could see stuff in the spirit realm, not just stuff on the outside or what seems factual, but people that could see deeper into the hearts and the motives and the actions of others. You know, it would be great to have prophetic voice, someone that can sense or hear or speak from God. You know, there's a safety in the multitude of counselors, different types. You know, we need doctors, we need mechanics, you know, we need advisors, we need analysts, we need all kinds of things in our lives, so that we get things on track, so we get things right, so we get things in order, so we could be in balanced, not imbalanced, but in balance. So don't hold back from contacting me. I'm offering this to help people. I get to help a lot of people every day, and it is the way that I minister. Ministry heals, ministry delivers, ministry gives wisdom, gives revelation, gives you an aha moment, gives you a sigh of relief. That's what ministry does. So God's sending us out in all kinds of ways. Maybe I can help you to know in what way He wants to use you. That's how I give back. And if you would like to send a love gift, then $Spirit lead us. Anyway, I hope that this helps you, brings confirmation, maybe it challenges, maybe it brings up a question. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.